So this is probably one of the harder matchups for Iyslander overall, especially if the Fi has Belittle package in their deck.
Yep.
Doesn't every Fi have the little package?
I think almost all of them do. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I've never seen a Fi that didn't. So.
Yeah.
But even then, just because of like the opportunity windows, like for example, when somebody reveals on a Belittle, there is a window that you can respond in that you can like Blizzard before he can go fetch his blue Minnowism. So like if you know what you're doing with Iyslander, from the people that I've talked to, I would say that this match is pretty 50-50 now that the Fis have had time to like kind of adapt, put in E-pots, things of that nature. If it is favored for Iyslander, it's not by a whole lot.
revealing Waning Moon, showing him I'm not on an experimental list.
Yep, no Crucible Iyslander this time.
Nope. Kraken's Aether Vein. All right. Shaking his deck in front of his opponent. Dominance asserted.
All right, so I'm pretty sure that just either player probably wants to go first. Depending.
Alex needs to start at 36. Yep.
Yep, the game is fair.
How broken would Iyslander be starting at 40?
Well, with the way Hamilton built it, it probably hurt it because you would start at even life and all your shit's turned off. So
yeah,
you probably lose a lot of value there.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of looks like Fi maybe going first. So if he can get a E-pot out, that is probably the best turn one that you could ask for, is getting that. Okay, or not. Just kidding. Alex is going first on Iyslander, so he's probably just going to try to squeak in as much arcane damage as he can turn one. But if he can throw a chill out or an amulet or anything like that, it's huge.
Is this a matchup where you run amulet device?
It depends. I think that could be one of those cards where you kind of like you side it in if you go first, maybe take it out if you don't, just to kind of eke out those percentage points. Looks like
Easter egg, go again.
5 go again, hitting with the brain freeze.
Yep,
that's pretty good.
Very strong card against.
Yep,
look at that one target. Yep. Spreading Flame's probably just going to be arsenaled here, almost certainly here.
Well, it has to be. So he ain't got a choice because Spreading Flames cost 1, and that's good information for Alex. That will be. That's actually really good because he knows Spreading Flames will be going in Arsenal, and then he knows one of the cards his opponent is drawing is red and does not have go again and is not a draconic starter.
Brain Freeze does not give a frostbite, right?
It does not. It is elemental, not ice.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Inspire Lightning, not a lightning card. Brain Freeze, not a nice card. The more you know.
Yep.
Pretty good turn cycle here from Alex, I believe.
Yeah, it looks straightforward. Probably expecting a Cornet Peak on his turn, and then arsenaling some type of ice card if I had to guess. Or could throw an attack. That works too.
Yep.
And then just arsenal the ice card.
Where you'd want to throw a chunky attack here, right? Because you want an arsenal for disruption.
Yeah, if you come off an arsenal knowing that the FAB player has a Spreading Flames in arsenal, you're probably just asking to die.
Yeah.
Because that's really how you die.
Yeah.
So if he has the blue in hand, he's probably going to open up with it, assuming the hand supports it. And yet there's the blue. So Alex does know that one card in hand is a red snatch, so he just has to keep that in mind.
Yep. I think this is a situation where you want to get more information on your.
Absolutely, because if he sword swings here, it means that he could not be worried about resources. Whereas this play kind of says, I don't want to. It either he's trying to put the Searing Ember Blade on the third chain link so it gets buffed by the spreading flames, or he's trying to be cognizant of the blizzard and trying to play around it.
I think the Ember Blade needs to come in at the fourth chain.
Is it equal to or lower, or is it just lower?
I think it's well, we're all about to find out. Yeah.
Oh,
so yeah, there we go. So it's the third.
Yep.
So its base has to be lower than
Correct. So
the number of chain links.
yeah, he was probably just getting the blaze headlong out there just in case the blizzard was there. He presents as much damage as he can up front. But I think Alex is just waiting to do blocks
on the snatch.
On the snatch is what it seems like. But
I mean, snatch wouldn't have go again anyway, so this is probably Phoenix Flame, snatch, or Phoenix Flame something, then snatch. Like the snatch probably has to come at the very, very end. It's not gonna.
I just think if you're gonna give a frostbite, you kind of have to do it now.
Yep.
Well, you should have done it earlier, but you know, you definitely should not be waiting.
All right, spreading flames, giving a buff.
Okay, hypothermia. Okay, ice bolt. Not. Okay, so he's basically saying if you want to play that snatch, you're gonna discard a card, which is good. The only thing is like ice bolt's really expensive to do that, which is kind of why it's. Like,
it doesn't have tunic.
Right. If you have tunic, it's way better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so being efficient here, using the gauntlets here.
Yep. And
this also makes the links not hurt so badly.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't know about using Iron Had there because you know the snatch was coming, or he would not have pitched in the first place. So
that's true. Yep, you're right.
And you knew what the card was, so maybe.
Yep, you're right.
Maybe you know, I would even like entertain giving him gauntlets and Cornet Peak to cover up the snatch, and then that way you can stay on a 2-card hand, assuming you have like a, you know, another scar or something like that.
That's not good.
Yep, free value.
80% of the deck can be. Yeah, I think if Alex watches his back, he will kind of agree with what we said just now.
Yep.
Armor usage, especially when you don't have a lot of armor, extremely important. You need to think from turn 0, what am I using my armor for?
Yep.
I'll give you an example. In my week 3 match, I played Bolton against Dash, and I brought in Helm of the Sharp Eye to give me extra block against Combustible Courier. So I knew exactly what I wanted to use my armor on. So I think that's something, you know, especially considering Iyslander only has 2 pieces of armor, essentially. I guess she technically has 3. So you have to be like, what are the 6 or 7 cards in their deck that I actually want to care about?
Right.
Snatch is obviously one of the highest. CMH at instant speed. Good.
Yep, so the 5 player's definitely just going to take the tunic counter here, because if you don't, you basically can't use it for
anything.
2 turns. Yeah.
Yep. And we'll probably see tunic from Alex to Waning Moon here. I don't know if Looks like they're discussing that, I guess. But yeah, I think the 5 players should take Tunic here unless they're flooded with blues.
Mhm.
And I don't know how flooded with blues you have to be to like not do it.
But I mean, that's the thing. Even if you are flooded with blues, it's like you literally are not going to be able to use it until it ticks up again.
Mhm.
More than likely. Well, I guess there's a 1 turn in there before it would be on 3 again that you could technically use it. But
So we're kind of seeing that Snatch was ace prayer. 4 on hit, 3 more.
yep.
If you block Combustible Courier, you're going to be blocking Snatch. Blue Snatch. That's a card that the FIs have started to incorporate. Helps in the mirror, right? Or just against the aggro matchups in general.
Right.
All right, Brand with Cinder Claw. Still has plenty of resources to play or to pay for things. Alex still has probably 6 block in his hand. Looks like he's going to take it. So this might be a turn to use the links because you don't have to pay to tutor a card. Okay, looks like... Okay, so we've seen him pitch 2 Art of Wars.
That's good for Alex.
Yeah, that's very good for Alex. I think the 5 player probably should have arsenaled that Art of War, don't you think?
It just depends on what. Yeah, definitely should not have if that was the line. So.
Yep, this one's good.
So what went wrong here? If Alex decides to finally block, if he would have blocked the Rising Resentment at the beginning, because of the Rising Resentment on hit effect, he banished the Brand from Cinderclaw from his hand and gave it a -1, which cancels out the Frostbite, which fit perfectly into the mana curve. And this line would not have been possible if if that was blocked. So if we see a block here, then it's just you
that's a feels bad.
Yeah. Kind of like that. Like if that was just shifted down to the bottom, you wouldn't be eating 5 right now. So
all right.
But unfortunately, all Alex is really going to be able to do is Cornet Peak, an ice card to maintain Channel Lake Frigid, which is decent because Fi's off an arsenal, so there's not a lot he's going to be able to do with 3 cards and Channel Lake Frigid out. So then the next turn, it's going to be Alex's job to get like an Ice Vein or something of that nature to be able to get 2 ice cards in the pitch zone after he gains tempo here. Because currently I would definitely say that he's probably a little bit behind right now.
Yeah, we've seen 2 kind of smallish mistakes, but I think especially considering the deck is all about
he waning mooned on the Channel Lake Frigid, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So his Tunic should...
Yep, Tunic should be on 1.
Pretty sure.
He was asking if he ticked it up, if it should be on 1 or 2. Okay, so that's a good way to maintain Channel Lake Frigid is by throwing 7 at your opponent. Support that. And it's also like very decent to come off of an arsenal here because you know that like the opponent's not going to be able to do a whole lot on a 4-card hand through Channel Lake. So definitely don't hate it. Although this 5 player's really got to keep in mind to keep the pressure up because that's what's so difficult to play against Iyslander here is like, yeah, you don't want to eat 7, but if you block here, then you're like given full tempo, right? Because like, what's the best play he can make? Pitch a card in red Snatch? Like, is that okay? That's pretty decent.
That's a decent turn.
Yeah, it's a good turn, but he took 4 damage and gave complete tempo. And now if Alex can find a way to put 2 ice cards in the pitch zone, that is massive. And he can
So-
just eke out the tempo.
Oh,
Which
looks like he's going to be able to use his whole hand here too. Most likely.
Yep.
Ooh.
So, and if he has 2 blue ice cards and an ice vein, it quickly goes to Alex being in a winning position because he'll be able to keep channel.
Mhm.
Shuko has Blade Break, right?
It does.
So there's no
I
way
don't
you
think
throw
we
this.
committed on that block yet.
There's
Oh,
no
cool.
way you commit this on this.
I would be taking 4 all day.
I mean, it does depend because what you have to keep in mind is as the life gets lower, there's going to be less times that your chain links go far enough to where you play 2 or lower attacks. The only thing that discredits that idea is you do have an E-Pod out. So, like, you are definitely going to get at least one more use out of it, preferably on your mask turn.
Yeah.
So I think it is probably like 1 turn too early to give it up. But
Yeah, it's a tiny bit early, but
Yeah.
definitely.
When you haven't cracked
be okay.
Mask yet, because Mask is always going to grab Lava Burst or Salt, so it's always going to get that glove value. I think you're right. It's a little too good to be cracked on that.
Yep.
yeah, and his life's a little too high to adopt the mindset of like, oh,
This
don't
is a
know if-
really good 4-card hand.
I mean, it's not as good as Ice Vein, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Um,
It's still gonna. Oh, jeez. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh
Now-
man.
I think that was accidentally a good play, not on purpose, because if he didn't block there, then that's a bad play. But because he blocked there and put his hand in an arrangement where he's like, okay, I know exactly what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. And then you demand 1 more card, it kind of hurts. But like, if he didn't block with that E-Strike at that point in time, which the go again should have been a
Burst.
giveaway. What can you do with 1 card hand, right? Yep. So E-Pod into a Belittle. I like it.
Was it a CMH supposed to stay around, or was it not CMH?
No,
it
it was just-
CLF, and it was not. It was already on 1.
was already
going.
at 1. Okay.
Yeah, it does not stay around.
Okay.
The only way he could have kept it around is if he Ice Veined.
Double pitch. Right. We were talking about double
Yeah.
pitching. Yep.
Right.
All right, the life totals have evened up a little bit, but the 5-player is still attacking into Iyslander, and Iyslander does not have an arsenal. I mean, this is going to come down to Storm Striders versus Pouncing, I think. Who gets more value out of them?
You're
Well,
absolutely right.
The problem here is you're going to see a wide enough turn that is exactly good enough. I'm 90% sure the 5-player is going to pop Mask here.
Yep.
To go grab a Lava Burst, because I mean the line is basically Flame Call Awakening, go grab the Phoenix Flame, then he's gonna Sword Swing with the blue that's in his hand, and then Phoenix Flame, Lava Burst, right?
He's got a blue and an Artivore in hand. This would be pretty gross.
So we're definitely going to see a Lava Burst, whether it comes from hand or whether he pops Mask here. But you're at 14 and 20 life, you're getting to that point to where you really need to get the value out of it while you can.
Yep. If I was Alex, I'd probably be blocking a little bit on this turn. Just to set up an arsenal.
It just depends on what the hand is. If the hand is, red Ice Vein, and maybe you keep it in like a Blizzard or something to put in arsenal. I don't know.
So if you've watched me play 5 before, I have a spotty history with Mask of the Pouncing Lynx. I finally gotten to a place where, yeah, of course you pop it on your Art of War turn or your Spreading Flames turn if it's getting good value. But nowadays, if the heroes are in the 20s or less, you pop it as soon as possible. So he's got to be popping at this turn. I think.
Right.
Like, equipment usage is one of the biggest ways that you can get an advantage in this game.
Yep, Ice Eternal is a very underwhelming card in this matchup specifically because if you pitch too heavy into the frostbites, you get hard punished if they have enough resources to cover.
Was it last turn that he gave up his gloves? On a turn that he knew he was going to be doing Flame Call Awakening? That's surprising.
Yep, this next one. Once he actually activates Phi, it would be coming in for an extra damage.
I like to try and get a +2 to 3.
It looks like he's trying to deny the mask trigger here.
It's smart if you can. It's very smart.
And this is so bad.
Pressure. That's max punishment here. Tide flippers into.
Yep, Tide flippers, pop it. And
so you gotta throw 2 cards at this, right?
If you don't, you'd be ready to take 5 more.
Yep.
And you can't go to 1 here. You just can't. So I think you have to get both cards.
Or D-React plus Tunic.
That would be huge, but I think he would have done that if he had it.
Yeah, I think we're kind of seeing that this matchup is on a knife's edge here. You mess up even a little bit as Iyslander, you block wrong, or you just present the wrong disruption at the wrong time. The game can get out of control pretty quickly because the Phi is in no threat of dying, so there's no incentive to block anything.
Right. I mean, Phi is just in a really good winning position right here.
Yeah, I don't know how come back up. Okay, that has to be a 5 block. Yep. All right. Even worse,
Really,
I have to give 2 cards and the Tunic here.
That's rough.
I mean, this is one of the hard things about playing against Phi. The attack pattern is pretty hard to figure out. I don't think he can win from here.
I don't see a path because you're just gonna have 5 presenting at least 12 damage every single turn. So you're gonna have to leak 4 damage just to get an arsenal, and then go ahead and pop the pouncing, and that basically. That should do it. You just grab the salt. Yep.
Phi is a pretty good deck.
Turns out. And yeah, this is kind of the beginning of the end here. Spreading Flame's going to give massive value this turn.
Yep, so that turn cycle was he leaked 6 damage to be able to get an arsenal. But now, I mean, unless he starts with conditional go again and you blow him out with like a hypo or something, like there's just no... Yeah, I don't see a way out for this one.
I mean, maybe Phi draws into like a bunch of blues. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe if he draws 3 Ancestral Empowerments and a Razor. Yeah, maybe we can get...
I mean, the Phi decks are built for...
Oh, gross.
Little does.
He might not have a starter. We'll see though.
What worse? He'll play the. He'll get
Phoenix
the
Flame.
second. He'll get the second Minoism, pay full price for the Phoenix Flame, and
Done Sword. Yep.
yep.
This is one of those games that you're seeing the consequences, I guess, or the results of decisions made 10 turns ago.
Yep.
Which is one of the hard things about this game is in a lot of other trading card games, it's very, cause and effect is very easy to see. Whereas in this game, it takes a lot of pinpoint analysis to determine. All right.
All right, Josh, no pressure, but it looks like it's going to be all on you.
It's always on Josh. That's why I'm the anchor. It's fine.
Oh, God.
Storm's turn? Oh, no, never mind. Just
Nope.
Ice Eternal from Arsenal.
Yep. Yeah, and unfortunately, it's
He has the
after
blue.
he goes and grabs the blue, so it's not going to do anything.
Yep.
And now he can't block with his hand, so now he's just dead.
Yep.
Those two amulets weren't blocking. It's too bad they
That's a
weren't
fact.
already on the field.
That is true.
Huge.
I mean, that's another thing is like turns. That already puts you a little bit in a position.
This is why I've been having so much fun with Fi though, because he just, thanks to Belittle and every other card he has available to him, it's just very efficient. It's so good.
This does not have go again, right? Because that's a yellow belittle.
Why would it
You're
not
right
have
about
go
that.
again?
Because he hasn't played a red, unless
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a red Belittle.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. No, it's yellow. But I don't think he's trying to, because we know that other card's a belittle. So like, I think he's just trying to arsenal the belittle to guarantee that he has a decent play no matter what
Yeah.
the hand he gets.
That's a great point. Because it doesn't matter what Alex gets to Arsenal now because of this. It's still
Yeah.
a Belittle turn.
Now, granted, if he would have played the belittle, he would have gotten the last card. But I still think that the denial of bricking is probably worth more than getting that arsenal, because you're at 18 life and have tunic counter. So it's like you really just need to like not brick.
It's a copy. Well, almost.
I don't think there's any disruption that can actually disrupt the fight here.
I think Alex is pretty much finished here, but that's okay. Not a bad showing.
I think his only out was maybe like arsenaling a hypothermia, and like for some odd reason, Fi starting with like a conditional go again, or doing like some type of unconditional go again early in the chain.
Yeah, like E strike, go again.
Yeah, something. But with that's the thing, like, and that's in our match, right? Like the brandishes and the belittles, it's just it takes what was the perfect disruption of hypothermia and everything, and just kind of like shuts it down.
Running Renegade here.
Yep, and that just wins.
Yep, Razor on top. There you go. GG. All right, so that means the match is tied up 2-2.
Yep, it's all on you, Josh.
Yep.
Don't fuck it up.
I'll try not to.
I have faith.
I will give a entertaining game if I can. All right. I guess Alex will be back here shortly to talk about his game, and I will join the server shortly.
What we call the stone cold nuts.
That was pretty good.
I drew 0 blizzards and he drew 4 finishers. So, GG.